Have you ever thought that Eleven kinda reminds you of someone, but you're not sure who? That's because she really does look like someone. Or something else.
You lied. Sorry.
OSSA Movies is here for you to reveal the truth about what qualities Eleven stole from ET, how Steven Spielberg affected Elle's appearance, and why the Duffers wanted to kill Eleven off in Season 1. Hi, I'm Dylan, and let's go straight to the first question. How Eleven found her ET side? So here's the story about a boy who befriends a cute weirdo. No, I'm not talking about Mike and Eleven. What I'm talking about is the storyline of the most popular sci-fi hit of the 80s, ET. Just like in the Spielberg masterpiece, Mike has to keep Eleven's existence a secret from his parents, the same way Elliot did with ET. And Eleven's funniest introduction to suburban life, including her favorite Eggos and the way she learns about friendship, was all inspired by none other than the extraterrestrial.
I'm spelled by.
Do you remember the episode from Season 1 called The Body, where Eleven changes her look? Well, guess what? It's reminiscent of the scene where Elliot's younger sister, Gertie, dresses ET up. More so, tiny Holly Wheeler, the toddler sis of Mike and Nancy, bears quite a resemblance to Gertie. And there's even more. In the episode The Bathtub, the bike chase scene where the kids are chased by agents is similar to another scene from ET as well. We'll end the ET references by saying that Spielberg is actually an admirer of Stranger Things. Not only has he claimed to be their biggest fan, the filmmaking legend loved how the Duffers recreated the world of the 80s, saying that they do it brilliantly. We couldn't agree more. But back to Eleven. Ahead are even more surprises about how her background was borrowed from other sci-fi movies, and how Eleven resembles Stephen King's characters. The origins of Eleven's name. Does a 1988 Japanese anime science fiction film called Akira tell you anything? No? Well, how about this? The plot of Akira follows a teenage biker with psychic powers who attempts to release an imprisoned psychic named Akira. The movie features children who possess psychic powers, and these children were test subjects experimented on in a secret government project. The government aimed to develop and use their abilities for personal gain. Now it sounds a bit more familiar, doesn't it? Just the same, Eleven's powers are used by the Department of Energy to spy on the Russians during the Cold War. Wait, there's even more! Those poor kids were assigned subject numbers alongside their real names, and Akira himself was number 28. So, there you go.
11. Okay. Well, my name's Mike, short for Michael.
The Duffer Brothers didn't hide these similarities, and openly admitted that there was a lot of Akira in the show's DNA. But you know what influenced Eleven's character even more than Akira? The master of science fiction horror himself, Stephen King. Finding the prototypes of Elle's parents. We will start from the less famous 80s King novel, Firestarter, and its film adaptation. The story follows a young girl, born with psychic abilities that allow her to create and control fire with her mind. But that's not the main thing she has in common with our Elle. That girl, whose name is Charlie, runs away from a secret government agency that seeks to control her. And the most important similarity is that both Charlie and Eleven have mothers who, while in college, participated in secret government experiments that involve taking hallucinogenic drugs. And so, Charlie and Eleven are born with supernatural powers as a side effect of these experiments. Moreover, Charlie's father bleeds from his nose when doing hypnosis. Yeah, exactly the same way Eleven bleeds when she uses her powers. And if by any chance you still think that's only a coincidence, there is a direct Stephen King reference in Season 1. When Joyce Byers and Jim Hopper were trying to figure out the story of Eleven, they met with Elle's aunt. She claimed that Terry, her sister and Elle's mom, believes her lost child was special, born with abilities. When Joyce questions what she means by abilities, Terry's sister simply responds, "Read any Stephen King?" That's right. And of course, there are other huge references to King's novels. The whole boys' gang was surely taken from it, and the Upside Down is very similar to the eerie alternate dimension that invades Earth in The Mist. And by the by, both were caused by a government experiment gone wrong, and both result in otherworldly creatures breaking through into our world. Just like Steven Spielberg, King is also a fan of Stranger Things. But unlike the ET director, King not only thinks the show is brilliant, he was actually the one who helped the Duffers discover Millie Bobby Brown. That's all thanks to one tweet of Stephen King's, which said, "Millie Brown, the girl in Intruders, is terrific. Isn't my imagination or are child actors a lot better than they used to be?" The Duffer Brothers could not ignore such a tweet and decided to check out who this mysterious young lady was. Thank God they did! But you might be shocked to find out that, initially, the Duffers were planning to kill off 11. This was revealed during Matt and Ross Duffer's chat at Chapman University. As the show was originally pitched as a limited series, 11's fate was supposed to be pretty devastating. So it was like 11 was gonna sacrifice herself and save the world, and then that was gonna be it. Because there was a moment where limited series were a big deal, Ross Duffer revealed. Fortunately, that did not happen, and we can now all happily whine about the season 4 delay. If you thought those were all the surprises about 11, you'd be wrong, as here's one more reference. This time, it was inspired by a computer game. 11 and the computerized version of Hopper. To start with, the Duffer Brothers are huge fans of computer games, and that's the reason we see so many arcade scenes in the show. The Last of Us is an action-adventure survival horror video game that, according to the show creators, had a rather big influence on 11's story. In the game, protagonist Joel accompanies a young girl named Ellie as they travel across a post-apocalyptic United States overridden with the undead. Both Chief Hopper and Joel had a daughter named Sarah, who died tragically. 11 and Ellie not only share very similar names, both preteen girls are endowed with unusual, remarkable qualities. Just as Ellie reminds Joel of his deceased daughter, 11 potentially reminds Hopper of his own child who passed away. And at last, talking about this game a couple of years ago, the Duffers revealed that they had an idea of bringing Elle and Hopper closer in future seasons. We all know how this story ended, and we all can't wait to see how Elle will find out that her dad is still alive. Are you enjoying our Stranger Things Decoded videos? We're planning to post a new video about our favorite show each week. What other sides of the Stranger Things universe are you dying to explore deeper? Share with us in the comments, and as always, thanks for staying awesome!